I channel living people and the deceased and animals too, including.
Jeremiah would like to know if you can clarify what our future really looks like here on Earth.
We are pleased with this one.
Hi, everyone. Today, Kelly is going to trans channel for us. But before we begin, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Is that okay, Kelly?
Sure.
Okay, so let's begin with what do you do for a living?
Well, that's a loaded question, right? I'm an ordained minister. I'm also a state certified homeschool teacher, professional psychic medium for 3 different companies. I have my own website where I offer past life regression, healing regression to rid the body of trauma release. I can hear it, smell it, taste it. I also do see energy healing and alignment, completely sense it. I teach energy. I've always been that way my entire life. How exactly you use it. I'm pretty much clear everything, which means that I can hear it, smell it, taste it, see it, feel it, completely sense it. I've always been that way my entire life. I channel living people and the deceased and animals too, including the living animals. And the first people, I guess you could say, that I ever tried to channel were archangels and the Galactic Federation. So I do YouTube episodes and do some channeling and work with that as well. For me, though, I just want to be clear for everybody. Channeling is really just allowing the information to flow and come through you in a calm state with like intent and focus. It's not some magical thing that only certain people can do, in my opinion. And so that too is something that I teach on my website, is that everyone is psychic and everyone can channel. And that's pretty much.
That's a lot.
That pretty much covers it. But yeah, I do a lot. I have a lot of hats.
So, let me ask you: has the paranormal followed you out throughout your whole life?
Okay, pretty much yes. It's followed my whole family, which you know about, but they don't, because I've always been able to see dead people. We've always been able to sense the dead people, and I mean no respect when I say dead people. I mean it's just what it is. But I've always had UFO experiences, alien experiences, ghosts, Bigfoot, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, pretty much my whole life, I guess it's been on overdrive compared to a lot of other people in our family, even though we all sort of have it and use it in different ways. It's kind of been a lot.
Kind of sounds like it.
It was overwhelming at first, but now it's okay.
So, when you see these deceased people or angels, some people may call them, how are you? What's the form you're seeing them in? Are they them? Or are they just shadows?
Okay.
Senses?
And so all of the above depends on, I feel like it depends on their level of energy or their level of comfort and willingness to give their energy to the connection. Because I've had what I call shy ghosts who really seem to be, it's like you can feel someone behind you, standing behind you, trying to speak to you from behind, and you can't necessarily turn around and look at them. So they're just kind of, a voice that you're hearing, and you may start to get like a silhouette of them, and then some of the color may come in where you can see like hair color or its style or their age on their skin or whatever. And then other ones are just like bam in my face, as clear as day as you are, right? I can see every bit of them, describe them to the T, tell you what color their eyes were, if they had missing teeth, the whole 9 yards. For people, that is. Now, animals, whole different story. With animals, I see them immediately. I see them exactly what they looked like before they passed. If they're alive, I still see them, exactly like they are. And they communicate with me and they can tell me where they're at. If they're lost, I've actually helped a few people lately find their lost animals, and I'm really proud of that. Um, but generally speaking, I do actually see them. Even before they started speaking to me, I was seeing them coming through the home or walking around on battlegrounds or different things like that. So I was actually physically seeing them, but they were almost holographic at that point when I was younger. They were just sort of black and white holographs, is the best way, I guess, to describe it. But even like with the angels, when I see angels, I know I'm talking to an archangel because this dude's like 30 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
He's mega huge compared to me. So I know that I'm speaking to an archangel at that point, right? Plus, they're very stoic and like a demanding presence. The energy in them is so completely different from any other energy. They're very firm. They're very powerfully there. Um, Stern in their wording. There's like zero doubt in anything they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you clearly know that you're speaking to them. Now, like with the Galactic Federation of Light, when I speak to the collective, I'm not necessarily seeing faces or images of anything, but I do sort of get a vibe, I guess you could say, or a frequency that shows a collective of heads, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were looking at an elongated panoramic type picture of many people, many faces, right? But you necessarily don't you're not making out what they look like. It's not like they have hair and facial features or anything. They're just there to show you that
Okay.
it's multiple.
All right.
I think I answered that
You
well
did.
enough.
Okay, so, all right. If you're ready, I'm going to have a series of questions for that the viewers have wrote in to be asked.
Okay.
Um, but tell us, who will you be channeling today?
I'm going to try to focus in on Archangel Uriel, who is my main spirit guide, to see if we can connect with him to get whatever answers are coming today.
Okay, so whenever you're ready,
I'll need to move my kitty cat.
your cat. And while Kelly's getting her stuff ready, I just want to let everyone know that how we do this is she's just going to lay down, she's going to relax, and when she's in a trance, I'll know because her breathing is shallow, so we won't start until I notice that. But I also want to remind the audience that you can write into us at the email that's going to be uh, in the description. Um, General questions are always free, and your personal questions, well, they're going to have a modest fee, but we want that so everyone can be helped. So, with that being said, there's going to be a little bit of silence while Kelly goes into her trance, and then we will begin shortly. All right, I think we're ready to begin. Can I ask who I'm speaking to today?
Yes, we are all here. Uriel, Aurora, Nicholas. They are my team.
Thank you for joining us today and allowing yourself to come through, Kelly.
Hmm. It is our pleasure.
So, I have a few questions that we would like to ask. I'm wondering if you would be able to advise us.
All right.
All right, so our first question is from one of our viewers. Tom writes, why do people suffer so much if we have so much power?
Hmm. I like this question. This is a very good one. The answer is complex yet simple at the same time, and some may not like it. You see, you agree to a certain amount of rules or lessons that you should learn by, live by, experience, discover. And on this path, on this journey, you are to look within, gain the inner love, the inner strength, the inner wisdom that you are needing in order to learn how to use your true powers. They have always been in you. And this is a very heavy vibration to live in and exist in, and to know that all at once. So you have a bit of an amnesia when you get here. You could blame it on societal rules, indoctrination, so on and so forth. But you had already agreed to it before you came anyway. And it is that goal of learning said power that you are to achieve in this lifetime so that you can fulfill your mission and your purpose. It is true that many will suffer. Hmm. Many will suffer many heartaches, tragedies, losses, conflicts. But there are also the wonderful things that you experience that are not noticed and not accounted for and not given the due gratitude or gratefulness for in the journey of this life as well. The life has not been of mere suffering alone. It has also been wonderful and beautiful and glorious and happy and joyful and exciting. And that is the vibration you should be tapping into in order to look within and find that true power that you desire to alter or mold or manifest the life that you desire to live while you are here. Did this answer your question?
Yes, it did. So, Anne Marie, she would like to know if there's really a God.
Anne Marie. Of course, there is a God, a creator, a supreme being, but it is not in a flesh form as you may wish or that your religions have indoctrinated you to believe. It is more what we like to call the source of all things, the spark of creation, the primal ingredient to create life and consciousness and its continuation of evolution and growth. Did I answer this?
Yes. Okay, so Mark writes, there are structures on Mars that look like pyramids and a face. So was there ever life on Mars? And if yes, what happened to them?
Mm. Indeed, there was life on Mars. We feel that it's a rhetorical question to ask if there was ever life there if you have seen the structures. Obviously, the structures would not be there and be present if there were not life there at one time. Yes?
Correct.
Now, as for what happened, this was a tragic lesson for them. One that required, and thankfully they had attained, in being able to leave planet. Hmm, how shall I say? In not so bold of a way. The nuclear devices that we so closely keep an eye on here on your planet Earth are being monitored and maintained for the same principle to ensure that this does not happen again. Does that answer your question?
Yes, but I have a follow-up question.
All right.
So if life was on Mars prior, is it possible that life can survive on Mars again?
Oh, absolutely. But this would take some terraforming to rebuild the atmosphere, the stratosphere, the magnetosphere. All of those layers need to be there again. And they have been stripped away by this nuclear catastrophe. But it is possible, absolutely, yes.
All right. Well, thank
And
you.
Earthlings are actually very close to realizing that achievement. And we'll leave it at that.
Well, thank you for that. Um, Darren wants to know, is Kelly really here to finish Jesus' message? And what about his message isn't finished?
Hmm. First, we must state that the figure, the avatar, the Messiah, the Savior that you speak of as Jesus, was sent here indeed for a specific purpose and a specific message. His time was cut a slight bit too short. But the seed was planted, and the truth still remains. Many have found this truth through his beautiful wording of, for those who have those eyes to see and ears to hear. They have dug to find those truths. And yes, it is true that Kelly is here to help to finish Jesus' message, the very one that she tells everyone all of the time, that you are more powerful than you know, and that you can lead the life that you desire and enjoy this planet as a heaven or a hell. The message is very clear that you can heal the body, yourself or others. You can heal the planet. You can create anything that you can imagine. You can live life any way that you imagine. But the key has always been zero doubt. And Kelly learned that lesson as well early on. But even she had to be forced to the brink to be ready to completely surrender and be baptized in the faith of belief with zero doubt. We all have to come to those conclusions at one point or stage in our evolution. For some, it is quite the struggle. They may not achieve it in this lifetime, and that is all right because the seed was planted and it will continue to grow until they achieve this final message of being in your own true power that is the spark of creation, the source.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of follow up on that just a little bit. Kelly remembers volunteering to come to Earth for a great awakening. If this is true, what exactly does that mean? And who is Kelly if she volunteered to come to Earth?
We like this question. Kelly is from the realms of what you would call the angel realms. She has been a human many, many, many times. She has been many things many times. She has lived, she has learned, and she has found her way back to source. This is why we needed her. Many like her. There are many here now. And no, it is not a mere 144,000, though that is a popular number and a very good one. We like its repetition. She is here for this thing called this Great Awakening. This is where you do truly realize your power. And no, not all will realize it in this lifetime, but there are many here who will. And there are many here to help you to remember, drawing you in. This is why we gave her the beacon to use, the lighthouse, because she can draw you in. She has that ability about her. It is very good, very pleasing to us. Although it did, admittedly, take some convincing to get her to agree. And this was not out of non love or judgment. This was out of hmm, perhaps exhaustion would be the good word. She had lived so many lives that she didn't want to come to this one again, to this vibration, these lessons, because they are very hard. But we knew that she could accomplish it. We knew that she could overcome it. We knew that she would fulfill her purpose. Though she has had doubts many times, we knew she would make it. And look at her now. Is she not doing well?
Doing fabulous. All right. So I have a few more questions. Um, Jamie, she would like to know why there are so many light workers that have not been paired with our mates for ascension.
This is a curious question. We do not understand why she would believe that you need to have a mate to ascend. Ascension is a soul growth that is done on a road traveled alone. You would not have a partner for that. You cannot have a partner for that. No one can do the work for you but yourself. You must do it on your own. It's the only way that you truly know that the lessons belong to you. Does that make sense?
Yes. All right. Alan, He wants to know, why does spiritual awakening feel like you're going crazy or losing your mind?
It is a dear struggle. We see this. The more things that you uncover and learn truths on, the more chaos you feel that you have uncovered. And while this is true, there are residues that have to surface in order to be purged and made anew. For example, let's look at the ocean and how beautiful the water looks on the top. But if the fish move on the bottom, it stirs up the dirt. It makes the water cloudy. This would be your presumed chaos from the learning and the unveiling of all of these things. The dust and the dirt will eventually settle so that the water is pure and clean and beautiful again. But it is necessary for those sediments to rise and be filtered and to flow out of you, away from you, out of your world, and away from it. It is necessary for the purification that is done on the inner soul growth level versus forced change, which is really why the Great Awakening is so important, because it is necessary in this time for you to be the ones that choose something different than the cyclical events that have occurred in your past. Is this making sense?
Yes. So can you tell me, what does it mean to see from a, excuse me, a higher perspective? What does that really mean?
Hmm. We understand how phrases and wording can feel or sound complicated, but to see from a higher perspective is merely to be able to move outside of your own emotions and ego of a situation, to be able to see it clearly as an outsider looking in, or a third party that is not emotionally entangled and involved in said situation. Does this make sense?
Yes. All right. I'm going to do just two more questions. Um, Jeremiah would like to know if you can clarify what our future really looks like here on Earth.
We are pleased with this one. At this point in the juncture of change and journey and evolution of spiritual growth of the collective that is here on planet Earth, your future is looking very bright and very beautiful and very creative. It is looking very hopeful. And we are very pleased with that because that is the mission of the Great Awakening this time. To see that flourish, to see humans flourish, and the planet with all of its creatures. To be those proper caretakers of the planet and move forth in a manner that allows technology and the medical field and all of your sciences to catch up with where some already are in their collective spirituality. And this actually has been a symbiotic type of relationship between the collective awakening and the planet itself and all of the decisions of the planet and how you move forward. Because the more of you who focus a like minded intention, sort of like a hive mind, but not, with clear goals and clear intention and clear focus of doing your own inner work and your own soul growth and truly desiring a more beautiful place for all people to live, all things. You have rewrote the code of the matrix. All of the ones and the zeros are now reorganized in a fashion that is complementary to the collective's narrative. Does this make sense?
Yes. I have a question that Miss Blue Ann wants to know. She wants to know how long before the bad people are arrested or punished for what they have done.
We understand this question greatly. We know that there are many who have, how shall we say, perpetrated crimes against humanity and the planet itself in various different ways. And to see them punished, to see them held accountable, is something that you need as a physical human aspect of your experience. And these things will come to pass. But we caution that there should not be celebration of these events occurring in the sense that you forget the growth you've made it to. We don't want you to forget to hold space and compassion for them as individuals who are fulfilling their part of the purpose and the contract for this time and place and awakening. Do not have the hate and the malice in your hearts, but rather just the satisfaction of a job well done, of changing from the old guard to the new, and knowing that you will be moving forward safer, more effectively, and with less what you would call bad people on the loose. Does this make sense and answer?
Yes, but I have a follow up question.
All right.
When these people are brought to justice, will this be, let's say, I don't want to say like all the gory details, but will we know for sure? Will it be visible to us? Will we know that it's actually taking place and not just shoved under the rug?
Hmm. Again, we understand the human need for these wins or satisfactions, if you will. And so, yes, to answer your question, you will all know, you will all be aware of or drawn attention to the fact that these bad people are brought to your justice. It will play out on many different platforms, televisions, social platforms, by word of mouth, perhaps even witnessing it with your own eyes. It will all play out and you will know. Because again, we understand that this is a human need for you to know in order to feel better, to feel like you can trust again, to feel like you can heal and finally move forward from all of these atrocities that have happened across your globe. And there are many. And once all of this has been dealt with accordingly, you will become aware in your public purviews And it will not be something that is, as you say, swept under the rug. There will be nowhere to hide it, because this is one of the truths that must come forward in order for the collective to truly change this world.
All right. I have one more question. It's a personal question from a gentleman named Gary. He's having health issues, and he's got something chronically ill with his heart, maybe. Not really sure. Doctors can't figure it out. Can you help him find some relief?
Well, Gary is not going to like our answer. And it is not because his health is in jeopardy, it is because his mind is in jeopardy. His emotions are in jeopardy. How do we say? The more you do not appreciate the wins, as we spoke of at the beginning, the more that you focus on feeling negative, the more unhealthy the body will become. This is an energy change within you. And once that energy change becomes the norm, the body begins to deteriorate in various ways, in various speeds, but nevertheless deteriorates. This is the reason that Gary's doctors cannot find his ailment to fix it. Gary needs to do his work from within, to learn meditation, to learn to calm the mind, still the thoughts, focus the breath, have intent to grow, and be honest with the self, and then to honor the mistakes you have made or the hurts you have endured from others. Honor them, feel them, and then release them to heal them. You cannot keep them within you. They create stagnation for the body. It is like having a pond of water that has no flow versus a river or a creek that moves. The water in the creek is going to be safer for you to drink, to bathe in, to swim in, to enjoy, to eat the foods from. The water in the pond is not. This is about inner work. This is about self love. This is about forgiveness. This is about being grateful for what you do have. And there is not a pill that can fix that. Does this answer your question?
Absolutely. All right. That's just going to conclude our questions for tonight. We would like to thank you very much for answering these questions. And with that being said, Kelly can now return to her body, and we will talk to you again soon.
We are pleased to have been with you. It's really bright up there.
You feel okay?
Yeah, I just don't necessarily feel like I'm all the way in yet. I guess I am now. I didn't feel so far away this time. I wasn't in the
In the
nosebleed
bleachers.
bleachers. That was good. I asked actually as I was going in, please don't make me sit so far away.
Do you remember anything?
um, I mean, kind of. Woo. I'm a little. Did you see me? Woo. I feel a little drunk. Um, yeah, I mean, kind of. I guess. If I thought about it a minute, I probably could.
Like, well, I was just wondering if it was any different than the last time. Was it more vivid?
I could hear everything really well this time. So yeah, it was more vivid. But as far like, I'm kind of a geek. I'm up there going, oh, she just asked that. Oh, you're gonna ask. Oh, and when they were like saying names and stuff, I was like, dude, I didn't even remember what that person's name was. I wasn't even paying attention when you asked. I didn't hear their name. I'm like, ooh. So that was weird because I'm up there just being weird about it. I'm seriously, I just tip. I just did it again. I feel tipsy. This is wild. Maybe I need some water or something. I don't
Would you like
know.
some?
Yeah. Whew. I about fell off my perch. Are we still rolling?
Yeah.